What's up, everybody? And today we are reacting to Life in Endless IKEA. This is SCP-3008 and it's by SCP Animated Tales of the Foundation. Sorry, Tales from the Foundation. Endless IKEA. I feel like this doesn't need to be an SCP. This is actually reality, right? You get constantly lost in IKEA and it's the worst. But before we get started, as per usual, members, you're amazing. I love you. I couldn't do this without you. I honestly couldn't make videos every single day if it wasn't for you members. So thank you for supporting the channel as much as you do. I really do appreciate it. Links down below to all the socials, including the 2 links to Discord. I've got the military Discord, which is all things military, and the geek Discord, which is all things geek. SCP, Warhammer, Halo, Metro, D&D, the whole shebang. Also link down below to the podcast and the Twitch stream, where I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Other than that, I'm excited to see how this goes in IKEA. Let me pop up my head and let's react to this, shall we? A little confused.
I can only assume this is the beginning of my sudden descent into insanity.
Okay.
I can't possibly be that bad of a navigator, and yet I've been trapped in IKEA for 2 days.
But I've been trapped in IKEA for 2 days.
haven't seen another person the entire time I've been here.
Amazing.
I thought it was a prank at first. Turn the place into a maze, get all the other customers out, and see how long it takes me to get lost. I realized that wasn't the case when I tried to backtrack.
Okay.
Everything had changed. Instead of the exit, it was just row after row of bookcases.
Okay. I feel like this is a meme of an SCP. It's not a real, like, surely this isn't in, like, the actual wiki. Is this in the wiki? It feels like a meme, this one.
So, I'm trapped in IKEA. The lights went out at 10 p.m. Nearly gave me a heart attack. The place is full of beds, though, and my phone has a flashlight on it.
Fair one.
But no signal. So I found a bed and went to sleep. I spent most of the next day trying to find my way out with no luck. I did find a restaurant serving those meatballs, though, so at least I won't starve.
This has got to be a meme. Can't be a real SCP. Surely.
They were still warm and fresh, but I haven't seen anyone around who could have cooked them.
There's no way.
I made my way back to the beds before the lights cut out again, since it's too dark to search with them off.
Day 3.
If I wasn't sure there was something weird about this place before, I am now. I walked in a straight line for 3 hours before I came across a ladder next to one of those huge stock shelves that they have here. Climbed up to get my bearings, and it looks like this place just stretches on forever. Like that scene from The Lion King, except instead of trees and grass, it's all these shelves and tables and crap.
This can't be a thing. Who wrote this? Who wrote this, guys? What is my life coming to? Why am I reacting to a guy being stuck in IKEA?
I did see a person moving not too far away, though, so I headed over. I thought it was a staff member at first. He was wearing the uniform. And maybe it was. Maybe freakish 7-foot-tall monsters with long arms, short legs, and no faces are just the kinds of employees they want at Super IKEA.
What?
The thing completely ignored me, though. And with no eyes or ears, I can't even be sure it knew I was there. I thought about shoving it or something to get its attention, but its hands were big enough to crush a watermelon. So I decided against it. It just kept moving along, and eventually I lost sight of it, so I decided to carry on the way I was going.
What is this?
Anyway, no comfy bed for me tonight. Looks like I've entered the hard and pointy table section of the store. Guess I'll have to make do with some bunched up tablecloths. My phone battery died during the day too.
I feel like someone wrote this as a meme and it got put into SCP. Like, surely. I'm sure there's going to be some more supernatural stuff. Like, that guy was kind of weird. But just the Endless IKEA is just, it's got to be a meme. There's got to be more supernatural stuff going on.
Didn't work anyways, but I still feel like I've lost some vital lifeline.
Day 6. I love that it's in the IKEA
I finally
logo.
found some other people. Last night, 2 of those staff things came at me in the dark. Different from the first one I saw, but still messed up.
Yeah.
I heard them coming. They were saying that the store was closed and I had to leave the building.
Why has this one got an absolutely jacked arm? You can't see it because my head's in the way. Wait, I'm on the other side. His arm's absolutely jacked compared to the rest of his body. What's all that about? What's he been up to?
All nice and polite.
We are closing soon. Please start to make your way towards the exit.
The store is now closed. Please exit the building.
Oh, guys, it's
I'm
getting
not sure
creepy.
which part of that was weirder. That they don't have mouths, or that they were apparently trying to kill me while they were saying it.
It's as if, alright, when I said it was going to get more supernatural, it's starting to get creepy now. It's starting to get creepier.
I saw it when I cleared another stand of those giant stock shelves, all lit up with torches and floodlights. They built a whole town down here. Got a massive wall built out of shelves and beds and tables and whatever else. I swear, it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Anyway, I guess they saw me coming, or maybe they heard my bellows of fear, because I had a gate open and 2 people were waving me in. I heard the staff thing slam into the gate behind me after it closed, still politely informing us to please exit the building. Eventually they lost interest and just wandered away. They call the town Exchange, because that's what's on the sign hanging from the ceiling directly above it.
So there's other people trapped in this IKEA that have built a town. This is the weird... I literally don't know what to say. I'm just going to play it. I don't know what to say.
Exchange and returns. It's all lit up against the night using lights they found and plugged into the power lines. And there are beds and food and people. Over 50 wonderful people. With regular-sized limbs and a full set of facial features. I've been trapped here for 2 weeks now. Most of the people I asked said they stopped keeping track a long time ago. And one guy said he's been in here for years. There are rumors of people who do manage to get out. And of people who see the exit only to have it vanish before their very eyes. I went out scavenging for food at a nearby shop with Sandra and Jerry today. Once you learn the landmarks of this place, it's not so hard to navigate.
I feel like this would make a good game. Like, they should make this in which reminds me, the SCP games, I am going to be playing them soon on the channel. Don't you worry your little socks off, okay?
We had signs up a lot, but there are others. Not too far in the distance, a huge section of those giant stock shelves has collapsed against each other. And miles away, it looks like there's a giant wooden tower where someone might have tried to break through the roof to escape. It's at least a few days' walk from Exchange, so nobody knows for sure. We found some food in the shop. Guess the staff restocked it during the night, which was nice of them. There was a telephone on the wall, so I figured I'd try it out.
Try it.
There was a voice on the other end, but they were just talking nonsense. Random words
This guy chucking meatballs into his mouth in the background. This surely someone went onto the wiki page and was like, I'm gonna make the most ridiculous one possible. The most ridiculous one, and this is what they came up with. Like, seriously. Like, who thinks of this? He probably wrote it as he was walking around IKEA.
strung together with no real meaning.
Oh,
Didn't
shit.
answer when I spoke to them anyway. Sanders says all the phones in here are the same.
Day 30.
The staff attacked the Exchange last night. Must have been 20 or 30 of them, all just asking us to leave the store, calm as you like, while trying to smash the walls down with their bare hands. Apparently this happens pretty regularly, so everyone was prepared for it. We had knives from the restaurants, lawnmower blades made into hatchets, a fire axe. One guy, Wasim, even made a functional crossbow. The walls have holes in them, which I hadn't even noticed before. But they're there specifically so we can stab out the staff when they attack. Took a couple of them down myself. They don't seem to bleed, which
What
is
is
weird,
this?
but they go down as easy as a
What
regular
is
person
this?
once you start sticking holes in them.
What is this?
We had to haul the bodies away in the morning. Apparently the dead ones will attract more during the night, so we had to get them away from Exchange. We have a couple of those trolley things they use to move big boxes around, so we loaded them up and took them over to pick up. People just name everything in here after whatever sign is hanging overhead.
This can't be real.
My curiosity got the better of me while I was unloading them.
This can't be a real SCP. Surely this isn't a real SCP. Why did they allow this? This is the most ridiculous one I've reacted to so far. The most ridiculous one.
So I took a look at one of the more cut up ones. They're just skin. All the way through. No muscle, no bone, no organs. Are they even really alive in the first place?
They're like mannequins.
Just one more thing on the ever-increasing list of weirdness that goes on here, I guess.
So I like this channel. They really do a good job of telling the story of the SCP, but they don't explain why they're like how they're protected. Like the other channel, they like show it actually captured in the SCP labs and like taken care of by the group. Whereas this one just tells a story, and sometimes that's good, and sometimes it's not as good. In this case, I kind of like it because it's like a survival. It says day 67, you know. Whereas the other one, it'd be going on about like, you know, how it can protect certain ones and how it's trying to look after it, which is good in some of them. Like especially like the one that duplicates itself, the one that wants to hug people. That one was a good one.
I've been here for a little over 2 months now. Not that much changes, as it turns out. A couple of the new people showed up. Same story as the rest of us. The staff attack the exchange once or twice a week. We kill them, and we haul their bodies off.
Okay.
But sometimes there's casualties. They killed this guy, Jared, a couple weeks back. It was awful, frankly. Turns out regular humans still bleed in here, even if the staff don't. We tried our best, but none of us are doctors. Jared was a good guy. He deserved better. We all do.
Day 139. He's been here for quite some time now.
I tried talking to people about the stuff they missed from home during dinner today.
Okay.
Probably not the best idea I've ever had. Everyone seemed pretty down after. A bunch of people here have families. Husbands and wives, kids, dogs. But apparently some of the people...
Imagine, like, finally getting out, going seeing your wife or your missus and being like, oh, I was stuck in IKEA for 30 days. I was stuck there for 30 days. She'd be like, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure you are, stuck in IKEA.
People here have some seriously odd gaps in their knowledge. The more I thought about it, though, the more it started to explain a few things. What if the reason no one is looking for all us missing people is because we haven't come from the same place?
Ooh.
Maybe all the people here have come from different dimensions or realities. Sarah comes from a place where there's no Statue of Liberty. They didn't launch a space station where Wasim is from. If everyone here came from different places, even from ones that seem identical, there'd be no missing persons panic.
It's true.
No mass search.
That's true.
We'd just be a blip. A single missing person in a world of non-stop news.
That's interesting. That gives it a little bit of a paranormal, supernatural twist. I like that. They all come from different versions of Earth. I like that. That seems more
The staff attacks have been
SCP.
getting worse lately. 3 or 4 times a week now, with twice as many staff as there used to be. No idea where they all come from, or why the attacks have increased. We tried following one of them during the day a few weeks ago, but we had to turn back before we found anything.
So it has got that supernatural twist with the whole different versions of Earth that people have come from and these weird things, but I want to see a little bit more paranormal. I want to see something more SCP-esque.
The attacks are getting bad now, almost every night. And with so many staff that the bodies almost pile high enough for the others to climb the walls. I think we're in real trouble here.
Day 172. Alright. What's happening? This might be the last day.
I think exchange is done. We got hit pretty bad last night. Not many casualties, but the wall is wrecked. We finally figured out why the attacks have been escalating too. A box of supplies had a chunk of one of the staff in there. No idea how it happened, but apparently a piece of one will draw them as well as a full body.
There you go.
Too late now in any case. There's too many bodies for us to haul away and still have time to fix the wall before night. Candace has called a meeting. I suspect there'll be talk of abandoning exchange. Maybe try and get shelter at checkouts or something. It's already
Checkouts.
getting late though. I don't think we'll have time to make it. Maybe some of us will. I was fine for the first week out in the dark after all. But then, how often can I keep getting lucky? I'm only writing this for a sense of closure, I guess. I hope whoever's reading this is doing so from outside this place. Really, my biggest fear is that if I do die tonight, I'll just wake up here again in the morning.
Wait, so she was that girl then at the end? Was she reading it in the real world and then went to the other world? Because that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I have to say, that was probably the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my whole life. Probably the most bizarre. But hey, it's SCP. I like SCP. Which reminds me, if you don't know, on the Geek channel, we do a Dungeons and Dragons game. Which, if you don't know what Dungeons and Dragons is, it's like a role-playing game where players decide what they want to do and they can take actions depending on what they get on roll dice rolls and stuff like that. And Dungeons and Dragons is like the major player in that, the major kind of company in that type of game. And we're branching out after this campaign in a few weeks, where I'm going to do a campaign on the Geek channel and Mark's going to do a different campaign that we're going to announce soon. And I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool to do a SCP role-playing game? It was actually Dan from the Geek channel that gave me that idea. And I think it would be cool. Let me know down below what you think. Do you think that having an SCP role-playing game where we go out hunting SCPs is a good idea? Do you think that's cool? I think it might be cool. Anyway, that was cool. I'll leave a link down below to the original video. Go and send some love to the original video. Members, you're amazing. I love you. I couldn't do this without you. Links down below to all the socials, including the 2 links to Discord, the Geek Discord, and the Military Discord as well. Down below, links to my podcast and my Twitch stream, where I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Until next time, guys, have a wonderful day. Goodbye.